Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Last Friday, we have started with our chapter that is lesson number 4 Weather and Climates. Today, we will be continuing our lesson further. In previous class, we have studied about weather, climate, and so on. Climate is the long term pattern of weather in a particular area. Weather can change from hour to hour, day to day, month to month. Weather can change from hour to hour, day to day, month to month. As you can see in this picture, sometimes it is sunny, cloudy, partly cloudy, raining, snowing, lightning, thunder. Now this is what? Weather, which change hour to hour, day to day, anytime. Types of climate: tropical, dry, temperate, continental, polar. These are 5 types of climate. As we all know, hot regions are normally closest to the equator. The climate is hotter because the sunlight is mostly directly overheaded to the equator. As I told you, there are different types of climate. The first one, what was the name? Tropical. And now in tropical, a climate zone typically found in the equatorial zone characterized. I said a climate zone typically found in the equatorial zone characterized by high temperature throughout the year. Now it is why it is so like happen, as before I told you that the hot region which is closest to the equator, the region which is closest to the equator get more sunlight. So because of that, the climate there is more hotter as compared to other region, and most probably high temperature. What was the second climate I said? Dry. This climate zone are so dry because moisture is rapidly evaporated from the air and there is little precipitation, and there is very little precipitation. First one was tropical, second one was dry. Dry water says that in this zone the climate is dry because the moisture get evaporated from the air rapidly and there is very little of precipitation. The third one is temperate. There are typically warm and humid summer with thunder, storms and mild winter. I would repeat. Temperate zone. There are typically warm and humid summer with thunderstorm and mild winter. The third one we have seen that was a temperate zone. Now fourth one is continental zone. Third one is continental. In this zone, there are typically warm and humid summers with thunderstorm and mild winter. The next one is polar. It extremely cold even in the summer. The temperature never goes higher than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I said in the polar zone it is extremely cold. Even in the summer, temperature never go higher than 50 degree Fahrenheit. The temperature, the weather changes quite often due to change in temperature, winds, humidity, etc. Till now, we have seen what is weather, climate. Now would be saying about elements of weather and climate. Elements of weather. As you can see in the picture, weather, the elements are temperature, wind, air pressure, moisture, precipitation. First, we will look out of wind. Wind, we measure wind direction and wind speed. Wind direction can be measured with the weather vane. Student, please remember it. Wind direction can be measured with the weather vane. It shows where the wind has come from, which can tell us a lot about weather. Now, what is the use of weather vane? It shows us from where the wind has come, which can tell us a lot about the weather. Wind from the north tends to be quite cold. Now, students, why the wind from the northern side is cold? I need this answer. Just now, in our previous point, that was types of climate, we have discussed the polar. Now, polar means it is extremely cold, right? So it would be totally full of frozen and snow. Because of that, the wind which is going towards, what will happen? It will be cold only. Okay, students? While the wind from the south is warmer. The next point would be air pressure. The air pressure can tell us what type of weather to expect. The air pressure can tell us what type of weather to expect. With high pressure, we normally expect clear sky. When the pressure is high, means it would be clear sky and light wind. But when the pressure is low, the weather is often wet and windy. Pressure is measured with the help of dash. Can anyone tell me? Pressure is measured with the help of barometer. Now, as you can see, it is the picture of a barometer which is used to measure the air pressure. which has different bubbles to show the air pressure. Now, this one more other point is moisture. The atmosphere contains vapor. The vapor has the greater amount of vapor is called humid air. The humidity in the atmosphere is called moisture. The proportion of moisture in the atmosphere depend on temperature. Air with higher temperature holds a greater amount of moisture. Now student, from the class 4th, we always in science subject we always heard about water cycle, right? So, one of the element of weather is precipitation. Water is present as liquid and as a gas in the atmosphere. When water is a gas, it is called water vapor. You can't see water vapor in the air. Have you able to see the water vapor in the air? No, na? Because water molecules are very small. When water is liquid, you can see it in the form of clouds. It can also fall from the sky, a precipitation. The amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. The amount of water vapor the air can hold depends on the temperature of air. Warm air can hold more water vapor, while cold air cannot hold as much. Now, precipitation is any liquid or frozen water that forms in the atmosphere and falls back to the earth. It is one of the three main steps of the global water cycle. It comes in many forms like rain, sleet, and snow. Along with evaporation and condensation, precipitation is one of the three major parts of the global water vapor cycle. When the drops are heavy enough, they fall to the earth. If a cloud is colder, water droplets may freeze to form ice, then fall as snow or rain depending on the temperature. Now, students, don't you think the temperature is more important? Because all of the things are depending on the temperature, don't you? Most rain actually begins as snow high in the cloud. As the snowflakes falls through warmer air, they become raindrops. Precipitation is always a fresh water even when the water originated from the ocean. Now students, I would repeat the last sentence what I said, that is, precipitation is always fresh water even when the water originated from the ocean. As if you can see from the picture, the way the water evaporated, they formed the cloud, and after forming the clouds, it's again started getting downwards to the earth in the form of rain or snow and etc. So tell me, as I told you, whenever it happens, it's like in return, what is coming back? Fresh water. Why it is so? Whether it is like water is originated from ocean also. Ocean means what? Water is sweet or salty? Yes, in ocean, it's the water is salty. But then also when the water is coming back, what happened? It is coming in the form of fresh water. Means it's not taste salt, it's not taste sweet, right? Why it happens so? Now, this is because sea salt does not evaporate with the water. I said the sea salt does not evaporate with the water. Now, I know that most of the students have been seen the salt pan. Yes or not? When where is the place where the salt pan is the place where the water is being accumulated, and what will happen? Because of the sun rays, the water started getting evaporated, and what will happen in last? The salt would be there. Now students, as weather is described on the basis of conditions prevailing at the given time, while climate is described on the basis of the condition prevailing on the longer time or period. Weather keeps on changing frequently, as we can experience nowadays. Like sometime when we get up in the morning, it is like sunny, but later in just in few minutes it started raining. Nowadays it's happening, right? So you would be noticing the how the weather is changing. So it is a short of period of time. The change of time climate take place over a long period of time. They are not perceived easily. Latitudinal position, height above the sea, nearness to the ocean, oceanic current, etc., are the factors that influence the climate. Beside this, mountain ranges, types of land, local winds are other factors that influence the climate of a region. Students, I hope the topic was easy for you all to understand. Okay? Thank you. Before that, I need you all to read your textbook at least, please, so that you would be able to understand what the teacher has taught us. So before, make sure always before seeing the video, it is always at least once read your textbook so that it would be make you easy to understand the video.